Hi everyone, my name is Taylor Basford and today I'll be presenting my applied assignment for our course. My focus is on behavior-based interventions like ABA therapy and the role of family support in helping individuals with developmental disabilities. Let's get started. In this presentation, I'll walk you through the pre-work I did, the research and interview process, how course materials supported my learning, and the questions and reflections that emerged from this project as well. I chose this topic because of my personal background growing up in foster care and being raised by relatives. Not only this, but also I do currently work in ABA therapy, so I thought it would be fitting to do that connection between my courses that I've been learning as well as my job. I also saw firsthand how hard it can be for families to support individuals with disabilities, so this naturally inspired me to look into how behavior interventions, especially ABA therapy, can make a difference, especially when families are actively involved in services. For the interview, I spoke with the mother of a young boy with autism. To protect their privacy, I didn't use names. I chose her because she grew up in a low income neighborhood and is now raising a child with autism in a similar setting. Her firsthand experience navigating therapy and support services gave me powerful insight. This is just an interview summary. She shared that while ABA therapy helped improve her son's communication and behavior, accessing consistent and affordable care was an ongoing struggle. What stood out most was how being included in her son's therapy sessions made her feel more empowered and better able to help at home outside of services. Next, we'll go on to some course materials that I used for this project. One of the materials that I used was Grossman and Magma's 2016 article to understand how family support is essential across the lifespan of individuals with disabilities. It highlighted the importance of consistent and long-term involvement, something that my interviewee also stressed. A second course material used was by Lawson, Cruz, and Nolman. It emphasized how community involvement can reduce stigma and promote inclusion. This was especially relevant given the challenges families in underserved communities face when they are raising a child with developmental disabilities. Next, we'll go on to some research that I did on my own. So my research reinforced everything that I learned in my interview. Both articles emphasize that family support and inclusive communities are critical, especially in low-income areas. And this aligns with my future role as a BCBA, which is a board certified behavior analysis, and that is where family collaboration is key in providing these services. My purpose for this project was personal but also professional. I've seen how difficult it is for families to access the help that they need, and I want to be a part of this solution. So becoming an RBT is just one step that I've already taken, and I hope to be able to give back and help remove barriers for families, continuing my services with ABA therapy. Next, we'll go on to some evidence. So I combined academic research with lived experience to form a fuller picture of the issue. The challenges my interviewee described, like financial barriers and lack of cultural understanding, were also reflected in this literature. This project taught me that therapy alone isn't enough. Real progress happens when families are informed, supported, and included. It also opened my eyes to systematic issues that are still prevent equal access despite laws like IDA and ADA. These are some questions that I had arose while doing this project. So I'm left with these big questions. How do we make ABA therapy more accessible? How do we better train RBTs or future RBTs to support the whole family? And how do we ensure disability laws are more than just policies? They need to create real lasting change. Deepening my learning, I feel like that this is just the beginning for me. I plan to continue learning about ABA, considering that I am planning to be a BCBA. I want to be as knowledgeable as I can. and I want to know how to deliver services with empathy and cultural awareness across families. I also want to stay involved with families and communities and advocate for inclusion and equity. So the connection to course materials. So this project directly ties into what we've studied in this course, especially family-centered care, disability rights, and cultural competence. It helped me to see how these concepts work in real-life settings. To wrap it up, I do have a few questions for you all. One could be, how can we make sure families feel included in services? What barriers do you think underserved families face? And what role do you think cultural awareness should play in behavior-based interventions? These are just some questions for my peers. Thank you so much for listening, and I'm grateful for the chance to share something that's both deeply personal and professionally meaningful to me. I really enjoyed this course, and I wish you guys all the best on your future endeavors. Thank you.